We want to solve quadratic functions by square roots, and we want to solve quadratic equations algebraically by square roots. So here we have example 4. If you drop an object off the roof of an apartment building that is 240 feet tall, about how long will it take the object to hit the ground? Use the equation below to model the flight of the object. So here we have h equals negative 16 t squared plus h sub o. And in this case, we're talking about h sub o represents the initial height. And h represents the height after t seconds. So h sub o and h are different things. So we can substitute some values in to figure out what it is. And so we know h sub o is 240 feet because that's the height of the building. And we want to know, write equation below to model the flight of the object, about how long will it take the object to hit the ground. Hit the ground, that's going to be a height of 0. That's when the object hits the ground, it is a height of 0 off the ground, so we can substitute those values into the equation. So h equals negative 16 t squared plus h sub o, and then we can substitute those values in. We said h was 0, negative 16 t squared plus h sub o we said was 240. And so we can solve that equation, and we're going to use GEMDES to solve this equation. And whenever we solve using GEMDES, we always start at addition and subtraction and work our way to groups. So do we have any addition and subtraction? We do. So I'm going to subtract 240 and subtract 240. And then we get negative 240 equals negative 16 t squared. And then we look back at GEMDES and we see that we have negative 16 times or multiplied by t squared. So in order to undo multiplication, we have to divide. So we're going to divide by negative 16. And in that case, when we do that division, our negative 16 and negative 16 cancel, and we're left with t squared on the right. And on the left, we get 15. So then we look back. Do we have any addition or subtraction? We don't. Do we have any multiplication or division? We don't. Do we have any exponents? Yes. So in order to get rid of this t squared, we have to take the square root of both sides of the equation. And what we're left with is, anytime we take the square root when solving, we have to do plus or minus the square root of 15. And that is equal to t, because our root cancels our squared. So we have plus or minus the square root of 15 equals t. And then if we plug this into our calculator, we will get a decimal somewhere 3 point something. But we can also leave it as this answer and use the equation below to model the flight of the object. And the question was, how long will it take the object to hit the ground? So the object will hit the ground at square root of 15 seconds. Now, it makes sense that we say the square root of 15 seconds because it couldn't take negative square root of 15 seconds. We couldn't drop the object off the roof and then 3 seconds ago it hits the ground. It's going to happen after we let go of it. So it has to be positive. It can't be the negative side of that.